you as well. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another vlog. Carfreak 458. Can I get a piece from you as well? So, it's a school run. And it's not the ordinary school run. It's a school run in a C63s 2019. 6. There you go. The last hurrah of the V8 from the C class and from the Mercedes. Anyways, let's head to Costa's school so he can have a lovely Friday over there. I got a car last night, so I have the car only for a couple of days, and exactly, and I'm trying to, feel it and test it and whatnot. So we're gonna talk more about it once we drop this young gentleman to his school, and once I fetch the camera, because I forgot the camera in my office yesterday. Hence, we need to go and fetch it so that I do not hold the phone in front of myself like a moron and potentially get fined. So let's head to the school. Exactly. So let's head to the school. Yeah. And then we're gonna take a little bit of, a drive and what? Ride. Yeah. Yeah. Are you enjoying the ride? Yeah. From your perspective, the only problem is the small window that you have.
I'm not looking.
You're not looking there. You're looking in front of yourself. You like the screen and all the features? All right. Cool. Yalla. All right, school run is done. That's done and dusted. We managed to pick up the camera, which is good, and it's mounted. So the next thing is we have to get a coffee, considering that it's still early in the morning, like 8:25 ish. Yeah, it's time for a coffee. I had one from back home, but that's not enough. That's just not enough, right? Anyways, long story short, let's go and pick up the coffee. Let's enjoy in a ride of this C63 and see how it goes. I mean, there is quite a lot to talk about, which we're gonna talk on the way to the coffee, and here and there a little bit, and I'll try to explain my view of the car, and feel. So the previous generation, 2017, 2018, has been slightly different than this one. I mean, in a core, it's the same car, but then it's not the same car. I love this feature in the Mercedes where you press the brake and then it just holds for you. So 2019 C63s Coupe, there are slight differences from outside when it comes to the front grille. First of all, it's very debatable, and it's about the personal opinion. Do you like this grille more or the previous generation W205, so 2017, 2018? It's very debatable, as I said. The sound is nice, but not as it used to be in the previous generation. But let's just rewind a little bit, right? Back in the days, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010 C63 AMGs. People, journalists, people, TV presenters used to make fun of it, right? Because it was stating C63, but actually it was 6.2 liter V8. Then it came this generation. As I said, in a nutshell, it's the same engine, 4 liter V8, but still wears the badge C63, right? So it's not quite 6.3 nor 6.2 liter V8. It's a 4 liter with 2 turbos, right? Not bad, not bad, to be quite honest. I love the sound of the car. I love how the car drives. We are right now in the comfort mode, but then what's going on now? That's the biggest question. We are going to no more V8s at all, but the car still wears the badge C63. There will be no noise from the exhaust. There will be no probably feel, I don't know. I mean, I didn't drive the new car, the new C63, but I'm just assuming. Where are we going with this? Where is Mercedes going with this? You know? So we used to moan about something that is 6.2, not 6.3. Then we were like, fine, that one is nice, you know. At least it's 6.2 liters. It has an amazing, you know, sound and everything else. Then it came this generation, and we were like, oh, you know, now this is also good enough for us, especially for the petrol heads. I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe some people, they like those inline 4s, V4s, whatever it is in that new generation. I don't fancy that one. For me, the you know, the AMG is all about the V8. It's all about that rumble. It's all about those crackles and pops that you get, which this car though doesn't get enough. So it's toned down compared to the previous generation, 2017-18, right? It drives better. I drove the previous generation as well. Back in the days I didn't record it, but I drove the previous generation. So this one certainly drives better, feels better. Personally, exterior wise as well, you know, and interior wise, this steering wheel, it's just nice. The place to sit, it's just nice, you know. And we have the comfort seat, for example, so you could have opted for the sport seats or whatever, performance seats, whatever they call them. But I think these ones are just fine. I mean, they're nicely supported on the sides. They're supporting you on the sides, and you know, the headrest is nice. It's a memory seat, so you know, fully electric and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, I do really like the small bits and pieces when it comes to the changes. As I mentioned, the front grille is different. The headlights now, they have been changed from the previous one, and it looks so mean with the daytime running lights, you know, those two strips that you have while driving during the day, even during the night, to be quite honest. It looks mean, it looks beefy, right? It's a AMG at the end of the day. There is a plenty of, you know, carbon fiber. I think the carbon fiber on the dash here, on the central console, that's a $10,000 option. So yeah, that's nice. I do really love these air vents that Mercedes has put. Even in the previous generation you had the same ones, but I really do like those. You have a new updated screen, which is I think 10.5 inch, but then even more, you know, advanced or a bigger change is the 12-inch central screen, which is right in front of you on a dash, which is fully digital, and you can play with those, you know, buttons and the stuff over there, which we can go around later on. As I said, steering wheel are very, very, very nice. Steering wheel with metal shifters on the, you know, behind it, for the manual shifting the gears. Personally, a little bit too much going on when it comes to the clusters, yeah, with the buttons and the stuff. But yeah, I mean, you get used to it at you know, at some point, or you don't. You just keep ignoring them, like I do, for example. Right? And then as I said, plenty of carbon fiber. Apart from this central console piece, there is also outside the back lip spoiler, as well as the mirrors and so on and so forth. Let me just order the coffee quickly, and then we're gonna continue the talk. Alright, let's try to find some space where we can actually go a little bit around the car, so I can also show you certain things, perhaps, or we just keep driving, which is also pretty decent. So in terms of the shoes for this car, we have the 20s in the back and 19s in the front when it comes to the size of the rims. On this particular one, they're the standard AMG matte black ones. And one thing that I noticed, because I draw a couple of C classes from that era, let's say 2015, 16, 18, you know, restyling models, not restyling models from 2019, there is a lot of squeaking noise when it comes to the plastics and the interior, right? This one, though, not that much. It's way stiffer. I can comfortably say it's better built. It's better built. On the other hand, it's pretty decent ride, I must say, with those comfortable, comfy seats and everything that you have in front of yourself. It is pretty nice and decent and settled, especially once it's in a comfort mode. Another change when it comes to the interior changes, so-called, is the as we mentioned, steering wheel, but then not only steering wheel as a whole appearance, but also the functionality, where you have this knob that you can turn and change it to, let's say, sport mode or sport plus, or even a race mode, and then you have a good response on the throttle. We are right now in the, you know, middle of the, let's say, street that has a certain speed limit, so I cannot really push the car, but you know, you can feel the response on the throttle that just changes. The car just shakes like, whoo, okay, you know, it's time to go. It's still very, you know, very much AMG, I have to say that. One thing also that I have to say is it is pretty light on the steering wheel. Yeah, it is pretty light. I would expect it to be a little bit more stiffer when you put it in the race mode, but it's pretty light. It is responsive, you get that response, but not as much as I would, prefer it, to be quite honest. Not as much as you get, for example, from the BMW M. So that's there. Somebody would like it, somebody would dislike it. I'm just putting it out there the way that I feel. I am not, nor happy nor sad about it, to be quite honest. Let's. Ooh, finally, there are some downshifts and some sort of crackles, so-called crackles. As I said, that's very toned down, to be honest. I don't know. AMG is all about the roar and roar, and bang bang boom 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 boom. That's what the AMG is all about. Not this one though, and I can't even imagine what's the new one like, to be honest. So, anyways, it's a rear-wheel drive, so it's a very tail-happy car. Yeah, go birds! Oh my god, I almost ran over the birds. And yeah, let's see if we can. There are some parkings maybe here, perhaps. Yeah, I cannot turn right here. Where did I end up? No parking for boats and trailers. I am no boat or trailer, to be honest. I don't know where I am. Anyways, I know that the sea is on that side, so I was counting on some parking next to the sea, or the beach, whatever you want to call it. But God knows where did I end up. Yeah. Oh, it's already getting full. This is the wrong way to go in. Oh my goodness gracious. As I said, the cabin noise is there. But how much is that real? To be precise, that's a big question. The door panels, on the other hand, they kind of stayed the same, not much of the difference. You have this, how do they call it? Bernstein or whatever it is, the sound system, which is the upgrade to the previous generation, and it's pretty decent. Some of the control panels for your seats, heating and cooling the seats, ventilating the seats, as I said. Some of the knobs for the windows and the mirrors, basically. So that's pretty much it. And I am going away from that parking. Oh my god. Should I try to go right? Let's see, this is the last try, otherwise I need to go all the way there. This is some company. There's a bicycle here. Oh. Okay. Bicycle is here. What is this? This is like a maze. Let's see in the manual mode how it is. Am I on board? Yeah. Oh, yes. One big change. One big change, guys, is the gearbox. Previously it used to be the 7-speed gearbox. Now it's a 9-speed gearbox. It's faster, it's snappier, not as fast as the double clutch gearboxes, but faster than the previous generation, which is good enough for me, to be honest. Did we finally ended up with some parking or no? Oh, this is the no. Marinas. I don't know what is this. This is certainly not not where I wanted to come. Yeah, I think I'm gonna turn around and go back. All right, so finally we found the spot to park the car, so I can take some nice shots and whatnot. But technically you saw what I was, you know, bragging all about, what I was trying to explain to you in terms of the changes from the previous model to this one, as well as the, I don't know, a sad reality that we are entering when it comes to the AMG cars, when it comes to the cars in general, to be honest. You know, one thing that I'm super happy is that at least the BMW is not going away from their inline 6 engines, so they're stuck to that, and that's it, right? But in general, you know, that's pretty much it. As I was explaining on this screen, and one thing I don't, apart from the noise, you know, apart from the noise that this V8 makes, that was toned down, that I don't think it's a AMG at all, I don't understand this part here. Yeah, so you can control the screen and the settings over there by this kind of mouse pad-ish thing, as well as this knob. So what kind of a snob would make that? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. All right, so for instance, you have the home button here, you press it and boom, right? You can choose the different options now with a knob, right? Moving it and choosing what you want, vehicle settings, blah blah blah, connect phone, media, blah 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 blah, right? But you can do the same by just using this thing. I mean, I don't know if I can get the shot, but you know, you see, it's moving, it's doing exactly the same job. So why? This is like, I don't know, putting a horn on top of the I don't know, lion's head, or you know, it doesn't make sense. I'm getting upset about these things sometimes, right? But one thing about the performance exhaust, I don't think that this button should be even existing here. You know, it should be a must. Open valves, you know, it changes completely the things, the dynamics, right? And those dynamics can not only be operated from here as before, as I mentioned earlier, it can be also, you know, done from here. Sport, it's changing the things. Sport plus opens the valves even more. Race, you know, immediately you have the suspension, you can put it in the manual and whatnot, right? So let's just put it back into the comfort for the moment to tone it down. Here also you can control your settings, like stability or traction control. You can switch it off, automatic start. So it's like, this is fine. This is fine. As a matter of fact, this is amazing. Volume controls, fine. And then why? You know, it's just a bit too much, personally. But yeah, different assists on the side here. as I mentioned, those vents I already mentioned. Screen is pretty cool. So you can change different things, the boost from those turbos, your consumption, resets. It has 57,000 kilometers on the clock, so it's pretty much a new car, right? It's pretty decent in here. I really like this one. What makes it so cool, for example, and I'll try to show you now, once you go to the home and you go to, I think, vehicle, yes, there is a track pace. So that one can measure your track times on the different tracks, and you know, the warning is there. Use it on the track. It can measure different you see, drag times, your 0 to 60 or 0 to 100. It's really cool. That's a really cool option, to be honest. It's a really cool option. So to have it, and then of course you have the different designs when it comes to the things. So now if you go to the classic, it's going to change the dials, right? So this is your typical classic thing, kilometer, the speed and the rev meter. Then you have the sport, which changes the color, a little bit of the things, you know. And then one that I'm driving in, which is the super sport, you only need your, you know, rev counter and the speed here as a big digital cluster or whatever display. So that's one that we are driving in. Going back here, additional display areas, you can change the display brightness. There's a lot. There is, like, in the previous generation they were like, I think 3 colors only to choose from. I think it was red, blue and white of the interior lighting, and now you have 64 color options to choose from for your, you know, kind of interior lighting. It's a daylight, it's a sunny, so you won't be able to see it even if I change something, but yeah, that's there. It's cool to have it. Not something that, you know, I would die for, but yeah, it's cool to have it. Same as the track pace option. So quite a lot of changes. It's a better car, don't get me wrong, it's a better car. It has, yeah, as I forgot to mention, it has different exhaust tips from the previous generation, which I think they look better. Again, personal opinion. So yeah, alright, so sorry, I had a couple of phone calls, so I had to cut the video. But as I said, a few nice changes to the car. You know, interior is very nice and settled. This one in particular has the red stitching all across, you know, that you can see, as well as the seats that I was talking about. It has the big sunroof, or panorama. It's not panorama, it's sunroof. It has decent space for the kids. My kid was sitting there this morning, as you could see. So it has a decent space for the kids, not so much for the adults, especially if the adults are slightly bigger people like me, for instance. But overall I think I'm both with an idea of this generation, you know, the restyling 2019 model. So yeah, let me know in the comments what do you think about this car. Let me know what you think about the review, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.